the Sanskrit word Opal, which means jewel, and later the Greek derivative Opalius. There are two broad classes of opal, precious and common. Precious opal displays play of color, aka iridescence. Common opal does not. Play of color is the about the topaz. The topaz is a silicate mineral made of aluminum and fluorine. It is used as a gemstone in jewelry and other ornaments. Common topaz in its natural state is colorless, though trace element impurities can make it pale blue or golden brown to yellow-orange. Topaz is a neosilicate mineral and more specifically an aluminosilicate mineral. It is one of the hardest naturally occurring minerals and has a relatively low index of refraction. It occurs in many places of the world. Some of the most popular places where topaz is sourced are Brazil and Russia. Topaz is often mined in open pit or alluvial settings. The word topaz is usually believed to be derived via Old French topaz and Latin topazius, from the Greek topazios or topazion. This is the ancient name of St. John's Island in the Red Sea, which was difficult to find and from which a yellow stone, now believed to be chrysolite yellow shelving, was mined in ancient times. The topaz is a gemstone. In cut and polished form, it is used to make jewelry or other adornments. Lower quality topaz is commonly used as an abrasive material due to its hardness, and it is used to produce refractory materials from high temperature environments. Topaz can be used as a flux in steel production. Using topaz as a refractory material does have some health and environmental concerns due to the production of fluorine as a byproduct of calcining a topaz. The topaz is a part of the second rung of gemstones or semi-precious stones, accompanying aquamarine, morganite, and tourmaline. The first rank of gemstones include the ruby, sapphire, diamond, and emerald. Orange topaz, also known as precious topaz, is the birthstone for the month of November, the symbol of friendship and the estate gemstone of the U.S. state of Utah. Now I will be reading about the sapphire. The sapphire is a precious gemstone, a variety of the mineral corundum, consisting of aluminum oxide with trace amounts of elements such as iron, titanium, cobalt, chromium, vanadium, magnesium, boron, and silicon. The name sapphire derived from the Latin word sapphirus, itself from the Greek word sapphairos, which referred to lapis lazuli. It is typically blue, but natural fancy sapphires also occur in yellow, purple, orange, and green. Commonly, natural sapphires are cut and polished into gemstones and worn in jewelry. They also may be created The sapphire forms in granitic pegmatites of corundum cyanides. Every sapphire mine produces a wide range of quality, and origin is not a guarantee of quality. For sapphire, Jammu and Kashmir receive the highest premium, although Burma, Sri Lanka, and Madagascar also produce large quantities of fine quality gems. The cost of natural sapphires varies depending on their color, clarity, size, cut, and overall quality. Sapphires that are completely untreated are worth far more than those that have been treated. Geographical origin also has a major impact on price. For most gems of 1 carat or more, an independent report from a respected laboratory is often required by buyers before they make a purchase. Gemstone color can be described in terms of hue, saturation, and tone. Hue is more commonly understood as the color of the gemstone. Saturation refers to the vividness or brightness of the hue, and tone is the lightness to darkness of the hue. Blue sapphire exists in various mixtures of its primary blue and secondary. Blue sapphire exists in various mixtures of its primary hue and secondary hue. Blue sapphires are evaluated based upon the purity of their blue hue. Violet and green are the most common secondary hues found in the blue sapphires. The highest prices are paid for gems that are pure blue and of vivid saturation. Gems that are of lower saturation or are too dark or too light in tone are of less value. However, color preferences are a personal taste. There's also pink sapphires. Pink sapphires occur in shades from light to dark pink, and deepen in color as the quality of the chromium increases. The deeper the pink color, the higher the monetary value. In the United States, a minimum color of saturation must be met to be called a ruby. Otherwise, the stone is referred to as a pink sapphire. Now, I will be reading about the emerald. The emerald is a gemstone and a variety of the mineral beryl, colored green by trace amounts of chromium or sometimes vanadium. Beryl has a hardness of 7.728 in the Mohs scale. Most emeralds have many inclusions, so their toughness is classified as generally poor. The emerald is a cyclosilicate. Emeralds, like all colored gemstones, are graded using 4 basic parameters known as the 4 C's: color, clarity, cut, and carat weight. Normally, in grading colored gemstones, color is by far the most important criterion. However, in the grading of emeralds, clarity is considered a close second. A fine emerald must possess not only a pure verdant green hue, but also a high degree of transparency to be considered a top gemstone. This member of the beryl family ranks among the traditional big 4 gems, along with diamonds, rubies, and sapphires. In the 1960s, the American jewelry industry changed the definition of emerald to include the green vanadium bearing beryl. As a result, vanadium emeralds purchased as emeralds are not recognized as such in the United Kingdom and Europe. Most emeralds are oiled as part of the post-lapidary process in order to fill in the surface reaching cracks so that clarity and stability are improved. Emerald in antiquity were mined in ancient Egypt. Cedar oil, having a similar refractive index, is often used in this widely adopted practice. Other liquids, including grayish red to blood red colored gemstone, a variety of the mineral corundum. Aluminum oxide. The ruby is one of the most popular traditional jewelry gems, and it is very durable. Other varieties of gem quality corundum are called sapphires. Ruby is one of the traditional cardinal gems, alongside amethyst, sapphire, emerald, and diamond. The word ruby comes from ruber, the Latin for red. The color of a ruby is due to the element chromium. Some gemstones that are popularly or historically called rubies, such as the Black Princess ruby in the British Imperial State Crown, are actually spinels. The quality of a ruby is determined by its color, cut, and clarity. The brightest and most valuable shade of red, called blood red or pigeon blood, commands a large premium over the other rubies of similar quality. Rubies have a hardness of 9 points in the Mohs scale of mineral hardness. Among the natural gems, only moissanite and diamond are harder, with diamond having a Mohs hardness of 10 and moissanite falling somewhere between the corundum and diamond in hardness. Historically, rubies have been mined in Thailand, as well as Afghanistan, Australia, Brazil, Colombia, India, Namibia, Japan, and Scotland. After the Second World War, ruby deposits were found in Madagascar, Mozambique, Nepal, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Tanzania, and Vietnam. The Republic of Northern Macedonia is the only country in the mainland Europe to have naturally occurring rubies. They can mainly be found around the city of Prilep. Macedonian rubies have a unique raspberry color. A few rubies have been found in the US states of Montana, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Wyoming. A spinel, another red gemstone, is sometimes found along with rubies in the same gem, gravel, or marble. Red spinels may be mistaken for rubies by those lacking experience with gems. However, the finest red spinels, now heavily sought, can have values approaching all but the finest examples of ruby. And finally, I will be talking about the diamond. Diamond is a solid form of the element carbon, with its atoms arranged in a crystal structure called diamond cubic. Diamond, as a form of carbon, is a tasteless, odorless, strong, and brittle solid that is transparent in color. It is a poor conductor of electricity and insoluble in water. Another solid form of carbon, known as graphite, is the chemically stable form of carbon at room temperature and pressure, but diamond is metastable and converts to it at a negligible rate. Under those conditions, diamond has the highest hardness and thermal conductivity of any natural material, properties that are used in major industrial applications such as cutting and polishing tools. They are also the reason that diamond anvil cells can subject materials to pressures found in deep earth. Because the arrangement of atoms in diamond is extremely rigid, few types of impurity can contaminate it. Small numbers of defects or impurities can color a diamond. These colors range from blue, yellow, brown, green, purple, pink, orange, or red. Diamond has also a very high refractive index and a relatively high optical dispersion, have come from as deep as 800 kilometers or 500 miles. Under high pressure and temperature, carbon-containing fluids dissolved various minerals and replaced them with diamonds. Much more recently, they were carried into the surface in volcanic eruptions and deposited in igneous rocks known as kimberlites and labradorites. Synthetic diamonds can be grown from high purity carbon under high pressures and temperatures, or form hydrocarbon gases by chemical vapor deposition. Imitation diamonds can be made out of materials such as cubic zirconia and silicon carbide. Natural, synthetic, and imitation diamonds are most commonly distinguished using optical techniques or thermal conductivity measurements. Diamond is a solid form of pure carbon. With its atoms